Hi, I'm Catherine,
And I'm Reagan.
and our project is A Bee's Way Home. Our presentation is titled, Why are pollinators important? Why do we need pollinators, and how can we help them?
What is a pollinator? Pollinators are extremely important to the environment. The main way plants create new generation is by producing seeds. These seeds are necessary to grow a new plant. Seeds are made when pollen is moved from the stamen of one plant to the stigma of another, fertilizing it. This may be done by wind, water, or by pollinators. Insects such as bats, hummingbirds, bees, butterflies, moths, and beetles. In this presentation, we will be focusing on bee pollinators.
Why are pollinators important? Pollinators are needed for the reproduction of 85% of the world's flowering plants and 2/3 of the world's crop species. The U.S. grows over 100 crops that either need or benefit from the pollinators. 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat come directly from plants that require pollination to bear fruit, vegetables, or seed.
Why do we need to help pollinators? Pollinators are in trouble. Here are some things that are causing the bee population to decrease: habitat loss, pesticide use, diseases, and predators. Many things including these are hurting and/or killing bees and other pollinators.
What can we do to help? There are many ways we can help pollinators. Some of them include growing native pollinator-friendly flowers, providing and protecting spaces for pollinators, bee hotels, bee houses, and other things, reducing and eliminating pesticides, telling people about the importance of pollinators and how you can help save them.
What is a bee hotel and how does it benefit bees? According to the National Geographic's definition, bee hotels are man-made structures created for solitary bees to make their nests. The bees live alone, not in hives. Solitary bees lay their eggs in small holes. They make a mud door to cover the entrance to the hole. After the bee hatches, it will eat the supply of pollen until it's ready to break through the mud and fly away. Before building your hotel, you must take an inventory of all the insects that live in your area. This way you will know what type of pollinators you will get at your bee house and what predators are in your environment. After you know what bugs live in your neighborhood, you will then know how to build your bee house. Different bees like different things in their house. Research what the bees like in your area. For example, leafcutter bees like to nest in 8mm cardboard tubes. After you have figured out that, you can buy the supplies to make your house. Make sure your house is secure to the ground, post, tree, or wherever you're putting it. It has to be safe from weather and predators.
Things to remember. When building a bee hotel, here are some things to consider. When improperly made, the bee hotels won't be helpful and may be harmful. If the interior materials are not cleaned or replaced, they can breed mold, fungus, and diseases for the bees. Use untreated wood. Some chemicals are bad for bees. Bee hotels should be securely mounted to make sure they won't fall down and hurt the bees living inside. Paper straws that can be removed can help with replacement. Bee houses must be cleaned and sanitized, and materials should be replaced. Make sure to cover with metal netting so the birds don't eat the bees.
What's the difference between native and honeybees? Although they may seem similar, native and honeybees are very different. To start, honeybees live in hives with queens. Most native bees don't have queens or even hives. They are solitary, which means they live on their own, not in colonies. Most people don't think of native bees as important as honeybees, but they are. Although they don't make honey, they pollinate and help us grow yummy food and beautiful flowers.
A patch of the past. In the 1940s and 50s, there was a Girl Scout patch called the Beekeeper. This patch included requirements like knowing what constitutes a colony of bees, how the honeycomb is built, knowing what nectar is gathered, knowing how nectar is gathered, knowing how to fix hives for winter months, knowing what flowers are best for bees, and more. The Beekeeper patch was a picture of a hive with a bee flying towards it. This is depicted below.
What is our goal and project? Our Civil Award project is called A Bee's Way Home. We decided to do this project because we'd like to spread awareness about native bees and why they're important to our environment. We have contacted an entomologist to get information on how to build the hotel and what bees would benefit from the structure.
How will our project be sustained in the future? Our project is not just useful now, but in many years into the future. Bees can come back after winter months and use the bee house again. They just need to be maintained so it is clean for the next generation. Reagan and I will be cleaning the bee house every year, as well as fixing any broken parts that need to be tended to. Bees will have a safe place to live, away from predators for many years to come. We are giving this presentation to help inspire other scouts to help the bees and save the environment.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to our presentation. We hope you learned a lot about bees and how to help them and their habitat.
Thank you.